Hey, Matt Scratch here. So today I'm going to be explaining to you how to tell if your PT Cruiser is race bred. So the first thing you want to do is get down really close and look it in the eye. Oh, see? This one's clearly race bred. It blinked at me. Okay, and now moving on from there, one other subtle clue here is you see right here in the grill. Now most people would actually mistake this for like breakage or something, but it's not. That's actually factory, but only on the race bred PTs. This is a specially shaped cutout, and there's actually a ram air scoop right behind here, and it forces air into it in such a way that it really multiplies the force of the air going into the engine to about 5 times what a turbocharger would. So that's why this car has so much power. They couldn't even actually put it on a dyno because it was actually breaking the dyno. It was twisting it apart. Yeah, like really, these are a serious performance car. If you find one of these, you want to just hang on to it. Now you see this is, even though it's a race car, it has a radio in it. And you might be surprised, you're saying, but that's extra weight and extra drag. Well, yeah, true. There's some extra weight involved there with the antenna and the radio unit, but this car, you know, more than makes up for it in the power department. And this clever little dent here, you might think that that was like parking lot damage or something, but it's not. This is factory, only on the race bred PTs, and what it does, it creates an area of low resistance. It's kind of like, you know how golf balls are dimpled? It's like that. And area of low resistance here channels the air up and over the antenna, and it's like the antenna's not even there. Like it doesn't create any drag because of this clever little dip here. So look for that on all the race bred PTs. They'll have this specific little dimple here. So I just want to bring you around the back here and show you some more of this Chrysler race bred technology. You can see right here on the back hatch, it's really evident. This is a built-in weight reduction program, and it's just working startlingly well. You can see more of it down here. It's really just taken off all over the place. So even though this car's getting, you know, older and higher mile, and the engine might not be given quite as much power as it did originally, you know, it's okay because the body is making up for it by reducing its own weight. And before you know it, we're going to have ourselves a streamlined race car here, guys. Now you might think the back of the PT was designed so high for styling and for versatility and for cargo room. You're totally wrong. It was designed this way to mount the spoiler this high. You see, back in the 60s, Chrysler discovered with their Daytona project, if they mounted the spoiler up really high like this, they get insane downforcing aerodynamics. And they put the same technology into the PT. And that's why NASCAR, they wouldn't even let the PT run. It was just too quick for the rest of the cars. They wouldn't have a chance if the race-bred PT ran. So every car that has a spoiler also has a low-resistance muffler bearing in it. So this is very important, and that's why you'll hear these PTs, they're really quiet because they have such a low-resistance muffler bearing, and that's what gives it all the performance and extra power. Because, you know, a normal PT, it's just got that cheap muffler bearing in it, and it really takes a lot of the performance away. It's kind of like, you know, cars like Ferraris and Corvettes and stuff, lower performance cars than the PT, they have really stiff muffler bearings, and that's why they're so loud, and they just don't perform good. Just listen to how quiet this race-bred PT is. Clearly that's the performance engine there. So you might think that being a race car and all, this car would have a manual transmission, but actually you'd be wrong. They tried to put those in some of the prototypes, and you know, with that special scoop and all that, and all the power that this engine makes, none of the drivers were able to keep up to the to shifting there. Accelerate it so quickly that they had to fit them with these special sonic drive transmissions, they call them, and they're special, really fast shifting automatic. I know they look just like they disguised them with the same shifter as the normal automatic PTs, but trust me, underneath that shifter is there's all that technology, and she really flies. It flies through the gear so quickly, guys. Just coming around to the controls, and you might think, oh, that's a normal control panel. You've got your regular air here and your AC here, but what's this in the middle here? Oh, I better be careful about putting that there even. So that should actually say NOS, NOS, but Chrysler, they didn't want to be too obvious with it, so they just put the 0 there, and if you're a true fan, you know that should say NOS. So that's actually a 100 shot of NOS there, just in case you're racing a Chevy or something, and he's gaining on you a little bit, you know, like the new Corvettes and stuff, they're getting up there. So when I'm racing those Corvettes, sometimes I'll just flick it over here just for a minute, just to really show them what I got, you know, and put a good gap between us there. So as great as the race bred PT is, Chrysler did have one small flaw with it. Just with the speedometer here, you can see this. It only goes to 150 mile an hour. Like, what the heck, Chrysler? All the time my needle's going up back to the 0, you know, probably over 200 mile an hour for sure, because this car has so much top end. Once you step on the gas, it's really hard to dial it back there, guys. So a lot of people wonder why Chrysler put the control switches in the middle here for the power windows on the PT Cruiser. And actually the real reason for it was a lot of people, or at least they thought they thought a lot of people would put roll cages in these cars just because of the insane power levels. And you know, how quickly people were going in them. They figured people would be scared, but you know, a lot of people, the handling's so controlled and the way the power comes on that people didn't really feel the need for it. So a lot of people, they were lost on that. But the reason was, if you had your switches over here on the door where they normally would be, and then you have all your side bars for your roll cage, it would be totally in the way of the switches. So they thought ahead on this, and they put the switches over here on the dash just to make it easier for you to cage up these race cars. I hope you found this video entertaining, completely uninformative, and a little bit wacky, because that was the intent. So thanks a lot for watching Matt's Garage. Stay tuned for more, and have yourself an awesome day. What do you have to say for yourself?